Today, mortgage stress tracks higher yet again. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Welcome to the latest post covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian flavour. After taking a breather last month, thanks to rate cuts and tax refunds, minimal those were in practice, the results from our surveys for October shows that a further 70,000 households fell into stress, and that takes the total to more than 1.77 million households, or 32.2%. Household debt is at record highs, and while costs are still rising, incomes are not in real terms. And there was a spate of refinancing which helped some households, but the bulk of those were not in stress in the first place. The rejection rates for those in mortgage stress are and remain consistently higher. Mortgage stress is assessed on a cash flow basis, where, based on our 52,000 household rolling annual surveys, we measure income and outgoings for households, including mortgage repayments. Where the cash flow is net negative, households are judged to be in stress, and they are required to draw down on savings, put more on credit cards, or hunker down. One reason the retail sales data, as we discussed yesterday at 0.2%, was so weak. Stress is based on current circumstances, and we also model the probability of default ahead over the next 12 months, which is a predictive estimate, and we expect defaults to continue to rise. And we're seeing worrying signs in both New South Wales and Victoria now as economic conditions in these states weaken. Job losses in retail and construction are leading the downturn, but underemployment is widespread. On the other hand, Canberra, with higher public sector wages, is more insulated from the reality elsewhere. Across our household segments, more than half, 56.5%, of young growing families are in stress, accounting for more than 166,000 households, followed by battling urban at 48.9%, or 76,000 households, and the disadvantaged fringe at 48%, with nearly 300,000 households. Rural households are under pressure thanks to the drought, with 25.6% in mortgage stress, or 78,500 households. And even the most affluent segment, exclusive professionals, are 24% in stress, with 54,600 households. In other words, mortgage stress is appearing in every sector of society. Across the states, the highest proportion of households in stress are located in Tasmania at 39% and the Northern Territories at 36.9%, although the number of households are relatively low. New South Wales now has nearly 300,000 households in difficulty, or 28.3% of households, and Victoria has 296,000 households in stress, or 33.1%. And we've been tracking the spike in Victoria in recent months. However, Western Australia has 34.3% of households in stress, or 145,000 households, and conditions continue to deteriorate there, with more foreclosures in train as banks speed up their resolution processes. We analyse stress to postcode level and can identify those postcodes with the largest count of stressed households. Postcode 2560, the area around Campbelltown, has the highest count with 7,300 in stress, or 63% of households. Next is Melbourne postcode 3805, including Fountain Gate and Narre Warren, with 6,600 stressed households, representing 57.8% of households. Third is Toowoomba in Queensland, with 6,500 households, representing 44% of households in the district. And fourth is postcode 2170 around Liverpool in New South Wales, with 6,300 in stress, or 44.8% of households. A common characteristic of these areas are that they are in areas of high urban expansion, on the fringe of major cities, with many new builds competing with existing property, and many recently purchased. That said, stress can take several years to emerge, and there are pockets of pain from purchases made several years ago. Finally, we also examined the expense drivers of stress from our surveys. These vary across the segments, with power prices, school fees, and childcare all registering as significant, as well as housing costs. Overall, this is likely to drive stress higher unless real wages start to improve, but given the current economic outlook, that appears unlikely, at least for now. And as normal, I make a warning here that households who are in stress need to consider taking steps early, because these situations hardly ever self-cure. And with flat incomes and rising costs, many people will get into significant difficulty, and they should be talking to their lenders sooner rather than later to think about planning alternative structures to relieve their financial pressures. And we'll look again at stress next month as we continue to run our household surveys. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.